I don't know why I only have 20 minutes to fucking record. I cleared up storage on my phone. Anyways. So I wanted to make this video because one thing that was mentioned in the post where we asked about what you guys would like to see in the group, one of the things that came up was the evidence or proof or faith, belief, and I wanted to touch up on that. One of the suggestions was to do a crazy evocation where we could physically see the spirit with our eyes. And if that were how working with spirits worked, I feel like we would all have crazy pictures of an entity rising up out of the smoke, and we could capture it with our cameras and whatnot. That's not how this works. Okay, a lot of times when I'm seeing spirits, I am using a scrying mirror or I am projecting. Okay, so it's going to require some work if you want to experience this for yourself. Anybody who is saying, hey, I'm seeing these spirits with my eyes, it's a normal thing, this and that, yada yada, I would take that with a heavy pinch of salt, you know, because there's a lot of experienced, very experienced magicians who will tell you that is not the case. Anytime that I've seen spirits with my eyes, with my physical eyes, like I would, you know, be standing in a room talking to another person, it was not ritual. It was when I wasn't expecting it. It scares the shit out of me every time it happens, you know? And I react and then they're gone, you know? I would also say that, you know, if you're looking for something to see with your eyes as evidence, my question to you would be like, is everything that you see with your eyes, everything that there is that all that there is to reality, what we can experience with our senses? Or is there something more? You know, in magic, they tell you, hey, there are subtle energies that you learn how to manipulate, how to sense, and how to work with them, you know? And these are extrasensory perceptions that need to be worked on. Another thing too, in one of Franz Bardon's books, he says that, you know, in order to get these spirits present with you, you have to create a space that is like, and I just saw a shadow dart across into my bathroom. That's pretty cool as I'm talking about this. You have to create an environment that is welcoming to them. That is something that they are native to, in a realm that they are from, right? Which is why we begin developing the sacred space, which is why we hammer that home on how to do it, you know? Now, I would also say that feeling the entities and working your magic is a lot more important. And seeing the results is a lot more of a measurable thing that you can say, hey, this is real, you know? So do some simple shit, you know, do some money spells, do some love spells, do some attraction spells, do some, if there's people in your life that are treating you like shit, do some curses. Fuck some people up, you know? When you start to see those things manifesting, you're going to be like, there's no fucking doubt in my mind that this is legit, that I'm working with something extraordinary, you know? I didn't want to mention this in some of the other videos, but like one of those big aha moments where I was like, oh my God, I'm actually fucking doing shit, was when I fucking was in the astral and I attacked somebody with some astral weaponry and he fucking died. All right. Now, you don't have to go to that sort of extreme to be like, hey, this is fucking legit. But when you're working with these spirits and you're taking them into your body, there's going to be this moment where there is without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that, you know, this isn't just some trance state that I tricked myself into thinking this is real. This isn't, you know, just the heat in the room picked up, or, you know, this isn't the air conditioning went on. This is, oh my God, there is something here with me now. That is how you know. Okay? I think it's a lot more powerful to feel that power being pushed inside you. I started working with Abaddon a couple, like 2 days ago-ish, right? And I was doing the invocation, right? And I started to feel him. And it was this warm sensation. And I welcomed him. I did my whole spiel. I told him why I invoked him. And once I had told him why I invoked him, it got frighteningly hot in my temple space. I was looking around actually and been like, are my fucking robes on fire? What the fuck is going on? Like, that's how hot it got. I thought I was fucking burning. Okay. I haven't been able to get a vision of him yet. However, I feel him. I feel him working, you know? And I know that he is there. If I were to gaze into my mirror, I could see him. I could rely on that, you know? I could hear him speaking, you know? I just relax my mind until I'm in that void state. And then the voice starts coming on. You have to devote yourself to getting to these experiences, and it's not that long of a process, you know? Like, you might see in other posts or in other sources, like these really long-winded messages that are coming from entities. I would also take that with a heavy grain of salt. A lot of the times when I'm getting messages, it is very short, and it is followed by visions, and explore deeper in the visions. And in order to gain fully what all of these things, like, it's like piecing together something, you know? Whatever message, whatever words were spoken, whatever visions that I got, I'll then go back, sit down and meditate and contemplate all that, and then I'll get a clear understanding of what was being conveyed, you know? I have had entities tell me, hey, this is gonna happen, like this person is going to be in your space in this amount of time. And I'd be like, whatever, dude, you know? And then it happens. It's those kinds of extraordinary experiences that solidify in my mind, hey, I'm working with something. I would say that to really get over this hump, if you're struggling with this sort of thing, if you feel like you are wasting your time, take a step back, you know? What is something that really helped me get to that point, to explore the astral, to hear these entities? It's a regular meditation practice, you know? Like, we share these empowerment sigils and meditations all the time in the group, but you need to learn how to discipline your mind, you know? Otherwise, it's really easy to get confused in what is coming from you, and what is your ego, and what is coming from a spirit, you know? It takes a certain level of discernment, you know? Now, in order to discern, you have to understand your own thoughts. You have to understand the way your brain works. You have to understand your thinking patterns. And in order to sort of subjugate your thoughts to your will, one of the here's a couple practices. And this is coming out of initiation into Hermetics. You're going to sit down, you're going to make a schedule, once a day or twice a day. Sit down, relax, and try to follow your train of thought. You're not going to try to stop these thoughts, but you're going to sit down and try to observe how many racing thoughts happen in your mind. And you're going to count them. Okay? What's going to happen is there's going to be too many to count. You're going to be like, oh my God. But as you repeat this process, automatically your mind will begin to slow down, right? You're only going to be able to do this for a couple minutes at a time, 2 minutes. Then you work your way up to 4 minutes, 6 minutes, get to about 10 minutes until you're only having a couple of thoughts in that 10-minute span. And it's going to feel like a thought is coming slowly and then passing. The next exercise. Can you take one single thought and hold it? Can you take one single visualization and hold it? All right, this is thought discipline. Now, if you do, I talked about this before, but if you do this with an object that you see every day that you are very familiar with, you can hold that visualization for quite a while. If you do this with somebody that you've known for all your life, like a mom, a parent, a sister, a brother, you can use them and hold that visualization. Once you can get that solid and hold that for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you can then explore objects that you aren't familiar with and hold that. Then you can start exploring abstract ideas and hold that. The next one would be what we would refer to as a void state meditation. I would encourage you to do this sitting up, sitting in a chair. But what you are going to do is, when you learn how to slow down your thoughts, when you learn how to hold a single thought, the next step would then to be, I'm not going to have any thought at all. It is in this state of mind that the messages that you receive from spirits will be very, very clear. And I encourage you to do this sitting up, because if you do this laying down, you will fall asleep. Okay? That moment right before you fall asleep, and that moment right when you wake up, is when your extrasensory perception is at its highest, because our brain waves are already in that state of mind that we need to be in to receive messages from spirits. What you will notice with this void state of the void meditations, you will then begin to experience the visions. Okay? You will then begin to start stepping out of the mental sphere and into the astral. That's when you're gonna be like, there's no fucking way, especially during an invocation, once the spirit's already within you. There will be no doubt in your mind. Okay? A good thing about these exercises too is I can build upon this too. It's gonna have to be a separate video, but these are very essential to then using the mind and the mental sphere to direct energy. Okay? And I would have to begin to talk about the electric fluid, magnetic fluid, active and passive, and how these all work in the body, how these all work in the elements, and how these all work within the world around us. That's that would be a really long video, and I would probably be more interested in doing discussing the book that I'm getting this from. Okay. I don't know what else I was going to talk about. I would also say one final thing. If you're having doubts in your mind, I would say that this is a normal thing that some people come across, right? Don't let that discourage you from having a profound spiritual experience, okay? Just know that if you're doing all the right things, it's going to happen to you eventually. It may not happen on your timeline, okay? And I would also say that seeing and hearing spirits isn't really essential to work with them, you know? Doing a devotional day to a spirit you want to work with will bring them in your life further. Asking them, praying to them will develop a connection to them. Experiencing dreams and things of that nature. I have some really crazy dreams where I have entities pop in and out. Like the first time Paimon appeared to me, it was in a dream. I had already channeled a sigil from him, and in this dream he rose out of the sigil, and I was like, "What's up, man?" And he was like, "You need to call me when you're awake." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm dreaming." And he sank back down into the sigil, and I woke up, and I was like, "Oh, that was cool as fuck," you know. Yeah, just keep trudging along, dude. Just keep trudging along. If you're expecting anything other than some manifestations and some incense smoke wait, what did I just say? If you're expecting a bunch of physical evocations and anything other than some images and incense smoke, I hate to say this, but I'm not the guy for that. I'm not some illusionist, and I won't try to trick people into thinking that I'm something that I'm not. You know, I'm going to share my experience. I'm going to share what works for me, and I'm going to share what has worked for a lot of other people that I'm walking through this in my life. Anyway, that's all I have. Don't mind the bathrobe. Have a good day.